most people think about exit planning, they think exclusively about selling a business to a third party, a stranger. There are many options for a business exit that owners should consider because selling the business outright may not be the best alternative. For example, you may decide that you want to give shares of the business to a charitable organization. Another option is you may want to simply pass it along to another family member. They've shown acumen for running the business and they'd be a good successor. When you transfer your business to another generation, there are ways to monetize that. Another option is you may sell your business to your employees through an employee stock ownership program or an ESOP. This is a complicated and expensive process, but there are certain tax advantages and certain value advantages that, despite the obstacles, make this a viable solution. Another alternative to an exit is simply reducing your role in the business. Many business owners, when they think about exit planning, think about it in a purely binary fashion. You sell your business and you're out, you don't sell your business and you're in. There are gray areas in which a business owner can stay involved in the business but not necessarily be employed full time. They get to work on the projects they feel the most passionate about or for which they feel like they contribute most to the company, and they hire somebody either from inside the company or outside to then serve as the executive officer that will manage the business on a day-to-day basis. Another option would be a partial sale of the business. In the old days, we'd call this a dividend recapitalization. However, a much more viable and likely and common option is to invite a private equity investor into your business. Many private equity firms, if not most, will consider taking a minority position with the hopes or the goal of eventually acquiring a majority position whenever you're ready to sell. And so in this way, you can sell your stock but still maintain control of the company. You achieve some liquidity, but you also retain the control in the short term and upside in the company in the long term. What are your options if you've determined that your business isn't worth anything? Well, one option is fairly straightforward. You simply shut down the business, sell off whatever you can, and maybe see if you can take some sort of tax write-off. However, even if your business is not worth a lot, or if it's worth zero, you may be able to extract value from selling off its individual intangible assets. For example, let's say that you have intellectual property such as patents or trade secrets. Those might be valuable to a third-party acquirer or at least a licensor. You may have customer data and customer records. Those may be saleable and can be very valuable to a potential buyer. You might have a favorable lease that you could sell that another company or a buyer would be interested in taking over. Another option would be to bring somebody in to take over your business for free. But then as the business is turned around, you're compensated in some way. Your compensation, your consideration for the business is contingent upon performance after the actual sale. It's a fairly high risk thing to do because you may not get anything. But if you're thinking that you're not going to get anything for the business anyway, really there's not much downside risk except for your time. Now, you certainly can simply shut it down. And in certain cases, there may be tax advantages to doing that rather than trying to get blood out of a turnip. Before you decide that you're going to stop the business entirely, do make sure that you've explored every other possibility before you take that step, because once you do take it, it's very hard to untake it. We also help with value recovery, which is helping business owners extract whatever value they can from a business that may not necessarily be viable going forward. Thanks for watching this installment of Your Business Value. And if you've received value from this video, please like and subscribe, and let me know in the comments what topics you'd like me to consider next.